before we get started, I just want to throw it out there. I have decided we're going to be including our new business development program, all of the seminars, webinars, all the content and resources that I'm going to be creating for that program is going to be released for free at no additional charge to all of my Discord members. So if you've been thinking about getting in the Discord group, oh, is it worth it? What's there to do in there besides hang out with really cool people, like-minded individuals who are trying to build wealth and take care of their families? You're also going to be able to get the full business program that we're going to be releasing out over this summer. It's going to take me some time, and I'm going to continue to add to it continuously. So I'm really excited for this program. It's going to be all free, included with your Discord membership. So if you're looking to get in there, zachrector.com. Okay, let's get into it. This is a Monday morning update. We're going to be really quick with it. Let's get started off here. We're going to be decoding today's date. Little quick decode for you guys before we get into the overall news. This one's coming from Donnie Darkened. So he says tomorrow's date, which this tweet was put out yesterday. So today's date is 6/6/2022. Now in numerology, you're going to drop that 0 in the 2022, and that's going to give you the 222. You add up those, and that's going to give you the 666 date today. By the way, talking about this, I claim no negative energy. God, please forgive me for my sins, and I don't do the rituals. I don't do any of this crazy wacky stuff, right? I ask God for forgiveness, and I only fear God. So with that being said, let's continue on. On this day, Bill Gates turns 66 years and 222 months old. Remember, the 222 is the order out of chaos. We know that 22 is the master destroyer, master builder number. Continuing on, George W. Bush turns 911 months old today. Obama turns 22,222 days old. And Donald Trump will be 666,000 hours old. It is also 2 months and 22 days before the 2024 eclipse. Now, looking ahead, I'm expecting that 2024 eclipse to be another massive event. There's going to be some rituals going on. It's going to be absolutely crazy. By 2024, Trump will have returned into office, in my opinion. And this guy right here, Donnie Darkened, he thinks that Trump is the AC, the Antichrist. I don't know if I would go that far. I don't know what to make of all this. Someone please explain to me why the Matrix, why this simulation, why this experience lines up so perfectly. Is this all just a coincidence? Are we crazy? Are we losing our minds? You guys let me know down below, but I figured I'd include a little decode this morning. So the other one that we want to talk about is Ripple. If you put in Ripple into your Gematria calculator, it's going to give you the 76 in simple Gematria. And we know that tomorrow, 6/7, the rest of the world puts the day before the month. So it would be 7/6 in most places around the world tomorrow, which is the day that the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit will be meeting in court. And Judge Netburn, hopefully she's going to lay it down. I think she's tired of the SEC's BS. But this tweet, I think, is kind of interesting. You think about it this way. Anyone else wonder why Senator Loomis chose Tuesday, 6/7/2022, to release this bill? The same day the SEC Gov and Ripple are ordered to show up in person in court. Is she trying to get ahead of Judge Netburn? So tomorrow, the SEC and Ripple will be meeting in court, in person, to hash it out in the staged lawsuit. And then you also have Senator Cynthia Loomis from Wyoming is going to be releasing her Bitcoin bill, crypto bill, whatever it is. She's very pro Bitcoin. She talks about being pro crypto, but we never see her standing up for Ripple. We never see her standing up for any other cryptocurrencies. It's just Bitcoin. These people are, I don't know. It's almost like they're being told to shill this thing. Now, let's talk about XRP to $100. This is coming from Matt Hamilton, who used to be the developer at Ripple, right? He says, for anyone being taken in by the removal of context, here it is. So this is getting shared. Watch Your Guru put this tweet out. Ex-Ripple developer Matt Hamilton predicts XRP will hit $100 at some point. So here's the tweet thread. Someone's talking about how XRP can't reach $100 because of market cap. The usual just dumbed down argument. No understanding that XRP is not a stock. You don't compare it to the stock market. You don't compare it to Apple, which is exactly what this guy, Sir Bitcoin, did in this tweet thread. That's more than double the Apple market cap. Oh my gosh, my brain can't wrap around creating a world reserve currency that's as liquid as a G10 currency. Going to be a liquidity token for markets that settle trillions of dollars daily. Doofus moron, please get caught up to speed. We're not comparing stocks. Oranges to apples, right? Get your game up, please, Sir Bitcoin and any other doofus moron that doesn't understand that market cap does not apply to a payment network, a liquidity token. Completely different. Continuing on, from the FBI, former employee of NFT marketplace could be charged, or is charged, in first ever digital asset insider trading scheme. Quote, in this case, as alleged, Chastain launched an age-old scheme to commit insider trading by using his knowledge of confidential information to purchase dozens of NFTs in advance of them being featured on OpenSea's homepage. With the emergence of any new investment tool, such as blockchain-supported non-fungible tokens, there are those who will exploit vulnerabilities for their own gain. The FBI will continue to aggressively pursue actors who choose to manipulate the market in this way. Influencers on TikTok, influencers on YouTube, Twitter. Do you hear that? You better run for the hills, guys. All of you guys that were getting in on the Infinity DAOs, or Infinity Launchpad DAOs. You know, you guys were getting tokens before the rest of us, before you shilled it to your TikTok, before you shilled it to your Discord. They're coming for you guys. I'm so glad that we've done no paid promotions on this channel because, as we see, these guys have gotten nowhere by selling out other than ruining their reputations. Absolutely sad to see. Continuing on now, this is kind of funny, but I think it's a good indicator. I don't know what to think of this. This is an article here that says, strippers say a recession is guaranteed because the strip clubs are suddenly empty. So, if you're looking for another recession indicator, there's one for you. Let's continue on. We covered this one. This meme's been going around. Delivering Domino's in a Porsche, recession confirmed. So, the memes are all fun and games. Talking about that is all fun. But I want to bring you guys to this article, and I want to get a little bit serious here because, folks, we're in for a ride. This summer of chaos, this summer is going to be a hot one. And I'm not just talking about climate change. I'm talking about riots in the streets, food riots. We're about to see a whole shakeup this year. A lot of chaos. A lot of chaos. On top of the false flags. I mean, guys, just so we're clear, everyone understand this. There's going to be there was a shooting this last weekend. There's going to be another shooting next weekend. Another 100 people will die in Chicago next weekend. Okay, there's going to be another mass shooting the following weekend. There's probably going to be mass shootings every weekend from now until the election. Just so we're clear, just so we understand. Real people die in these false flag events, though. We're not dismissing that. Okay? I know what my program is. It's called Keeping Some Precious Metal on Me. I don't know what your program is, but hey, good luck, God bless. If you think, anything else is going to work besides a good guy, I'm not going to get into it. Let's not get into it. In case you're not paying attention, I'll help you out. This is one of the largest egg farms in the country, mysteriously torched. That's food factory number 19 in 2022. So maybe it's just a random act of God. Maybe it's, something crazy going on here. You guys tell me what we're going to do. Largest egg farm in our country, torched, burned to the ground. Number 19, just this year alone. In regards to the food situation, Jim Rickards here says, the U.S. is warning African nations not to buy Russian grain seized from Ukraine. If the Africans don't buy it, their people will starve. They'll buy it. Mark this as another failure for mindless U.S. sanctions. Talk is cheap. Starvation focuses the mind. Money talks and bullshit walks. In this case, it's food. Yeah. They're going to feed their people before they want to bow down to woke agenda here from American politicians. Saying, don't buy Russian oil. Don't buy Russian grain. Mr. Putin's a big bad guy. Starve your people. Yeah, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. And I want to make a key point here. A key point. Guys, what's happening right now is the Middle East and all of their natural resources, their oil, it's all going over to Asia right now. So instead of working with the United States, instead of working with the West, And we can tell this by, I showed you guys in a live stream last week, I believe, the ship routes, the oil tankers, instead of heading west towards Europe and the United States, everything out of the Middle East is going out east, out to Asia. This is very important. Guys, it cost Saudi Arabia and Kuwait like $2 a barrel to get it to the ground, to bring it up. Here in America and other places where we're doing offshore drilling, where we're fracking, doing all this and that. Now, I'm no energy expert. I'm listening to Dan Pena, who made his hundreds of millions in oil and natural gas and energy. He says that the Saudis and the Kuwaitis, they can bring it up to the ground for $2 a barrel. Here in America, it costs us, 60, 80, I forget what the numbers are, to bring it up above ground. So all of the cheap, abundant, easy to tap into natural gas and, mostly oil, is heading out to Asia, right? And the same thing's happening here. The abundance of grain and other natural resources coming out of Russia is no longer coming to Western Europe. Because Western Europe wants to go woke. They want to, punish Mr. Putin. And this is all backfiring. Backfiring on the US, it's backfiring on Europe. Continuing on, this is what we just got, this report. Germany's natural gas storage facilities are above 50% full now. Okay, but we just covered last week that their largest is, nearly empty? Right? Like the largest natural gas facility was nearly empty last week. Now it looks like Germany's natural gas storage facilities are up now, but we still got a long ways to go till the winter. So remember, this summer is going to be the summer of love. Let's just call it that. Another summer of love, kind of like the previous ones. It's going to be absolutely crazy. The energy crisis, I think, is going to pick back up during the winter. During the summer, it's going to be food. And then, the energy crisis will affect us at the pump. So it might not be really hitting as far as heating our homes until that winter time. But they're also talking about rolling blackouts in America this summer as well. Because we're going to have another record hot year, climate change. We should probably all start, giving up our cars and riding bikes to work, being a peasant, owning nothing and being happy in the green paradise. But folks, this is all happening because of the debt crisis, liquidity crisis, and the whole monetary system being set up for a reset. Now, every time we've had a reset of the monetary system of the financial world, it comes after a war. It comes after a massive crisis. You can see that we're now living through that moment once again. And last year, I was scrolling through my old TikToks yesterday, which I really got some gems. I'm going to start reposting those on YouTube because some of them are just funny. But I was going through, and last year I was talking about the liquidity crisis, energy crisis, all this stuff that hadn't come yet. I said, we're about to be living through this. It's all coming. Now it's here. Now Russia invaded Ukraine. Right? Now we have tanks rolling into other countries. Now we have threats of nuclear war, which hopefully, God willing, doesn't happen. But I do believe that we still have massive amounts of false flags to ride out the rest of this chaos. And it's all here now, right? It's all here. And it's been good in America. It's been good in America, but we're starting to see it all fall apart. This tweet right here from Wall Street Silver explains where we were at and where we're at now. Where were we at back in 2010, 2011? Does everyone remember when Greece went bankrupt? Right? This tweet, remember the Greek debt crisis back in 2010, 2011 when everyone was freaking out about Greece defaulting. Now imagine what happens if the European Central Bank stops buying the debt of Greece, Italy, and Spain. Greece during their debt crisis and Greece now. So if we look at this chart here, we can see that they've surpassed Greece government debt to GDP. This is the ratio that is on this chart right here. And so it has far surpassed that. And you're going to see that in every single country. The debt to GDP is well over 100 in many countries. Now, Greece here tapping out at 200%. Okay. And the European Central Bank is the one that's keeping Europe afloat. Our Federal Reserve is the one that's keeping us afloat. Russia launched the currency war, right? By invading Ukraine, then the currency war went hot. Well, let me clarify, because I'm not trying to blame Putin. I'm not trying to blame anyone. Really, the people to blame is the United States. Don't get it twisted here. The United States weaponized the US dollar, right? They were forcing their hand. So Russia was forced to ditch the US dollar. The BRICS nations are being forced to ditch the US dollar, and it's in the best interest of their country and their people to ditch the US dollar. So this is what we're starting to see right now, Steve Saretsky. Everyone is focused on how high interest rates have to go. It seems we all forget about the sovereign debt bubbles the central banks have been actively managing. So a lot of debt. When the interest rate goes up, those debt payments go up. This is why everyone is trying to front run the Fed and calling their bluff. They know that the Fed can't continue to raise these interest rates because it'll absolutely destroy this economy. But it's also going to make their debt payments that much higher, which I think that they like the inflation rate where it's at about right now. Like, this works out for them right now. They're able to keep things afloat, and we haven't quite, it hasn't ran away from them yet, but we're starting to see that. And I wanted to cover this tweet thread here from Kim.com. This is basically explains the whole situation. Let me take a sip of coffee. Thank you for joining me on this Monday morning, June 6, 2022. I appreciate all of you guys. If you guys could hit that thumbs up for me, greatly appreciate that. And like I said, if you're looking to get into our Discord group, it's over at zachrector.com. My new business development program is going to be included for free for all my Discord members. So if you're looking to get tapped in and understand how to actually build some wealth for your family, building business is one of the asset classes, one of the focuses that we were talking about in my Discord on this channel. I appreciate all of you guys' support. Let's continue on. That's coffee number 1 done. Okay, here we go. From Kim.com. This may be the most important thread I ever make. Big picture stuff about the major global collapse that is coming. I will try to help you understand why the future is not what we're hoping for. It's worse than most can imagine. Our leaders know, but what are they planning? The United States did not have a surplus or a balanced budget since 2001. In the last 50 years, the U.S. only had 4 years of profit. In fact, all the profit the U.S. had would not be enough to pay for 6 months of the current yearly deficit. So how did the U.S. pay for things? U.S. spending and debt have spiraled out of control, and the government can only raise the money it needs by printing it. That causes inflation. It's like taxing you extra because you pay more for the things you need and all of your assets decline in value. See the U.S. money printing frenzy. The reason why the US got away with it for so long is because the USD is the world reserves currency. Nations everywhere hold the USD as a secure asset, so when the US government prints trillions, it's robbing Americans and the entire world, the biggest theft in history. The problem is that this has been going on for decades and there's now no way to fix it. The reality is that the US has been bankrupt for some time, and what's coming is a nightmare, mass poverty, and a new system of control. Let me explain why this isn't just doom and gloom talk. Total US debt is at 90 trillion. US unfunded liabilities are at 169 trillion. Combined, that's 778,000 per US citizen, or 2 million per US taxpayer. Remember, the only way the US government can operate now is by printing more money, which means hyperinflation is inevitable. It's a simple balance sheet calculation, right? How much taxes are they bringing in versus how much do they spend, right? The total value of all companies listed on the US stock market is 53 trillion. The real value is much lower because the US has been printing trillions to provide interest-free loans to investment banks to pump up the stock market. It's a scam. Most of the 53 trillion is air. The value of all US assets combined, every piece of land, real estate, all savings, all companies, everything that all citizens, businesses, entities, and state own is worth 193 trillion. That number is also full of air, just like the US stock market. Let's do math. US total debt, 90 trillion. Unfunded liabilities, 169 trillion. Total debt, 259 trillion. Minus all US assets, 193 trillion. That gives you a balance of 66 trillion. That's a 66 trillion of debt and liabilities after every asset in the US has been sold off. Do you understand? That can never happen. That will never happen, right? So even if the US could sell all assets at the current value, which is impossible, it would still be broke. The US is beyond bankrupt. The patient is already dead. The patient is now a zombie. You're probably wondering, why are things still going? Why didn't everything collapse yet? It's all perception, denial, and dependency. The perception is that the US has the largest economy and the strongest military in the world, but in reality, the US is broke and can't afford its army. The denial is that all nations depend on a strong USD or global markets collapse. The reason why the US zombie keeps going is because the end of the US is the end of the Western prosperity and an admission that the current system failed as a model for the world. It doesn't change the reality. The collapse is inevitable and coming. What are our leaders planning? You may have heard about the Great Reset or the New World Order. Is it a controlled demolition of the global markets, economies, and the world as we know it? A shift into a new dystopian future where the elites are the masters of the slaves without the cosmetics of democracy? Without a controlled demolition, the world will collapse for all, including the elites. The world has changed so much and nothing seems to make sense anymore. The blatant corruption is out in the open, the obvious propaganda, media, and the erosion of our rights. What's the end game? The end game here, guys, is the fight. This is the good versus evil fight here. And for me, what we've been trying to break down on this channel is, what are the elite doing? What are they planning? What is their agenda? What is the timeline? Remember, one of my most viral videos that I posted on TikTok this year was the Great Reset timeline. And I got the timeline from an ex-Pfizer scientist. And it went through the whole dates, everything that they were trying to do from now till 2022. And it was spot on. It was absolutely spot on. TikTok banned the video, of course. But folks, what we're trying to break down here is, what are they doing? What's their plans? And what's going to be our counter moves? You know, and not only that, we don't want to just be on defensive against the elites and the New World Order and the agenda, which can be very overbearing. And there's me and dozens of other people that are talking about this. You can listen to endless people talk about the New World Order, this agenda, everything that's going on, Klaus Schwab, George Soros. Okay, what do we do about it? How do we prepare? What action do we take? This is what I've been focused on as of late. Me and everyone else, we've exposed this thing. Other people go way deeper than I do, talk about other issues more in depth. For us, it's basic understanding, enough education and information so that we can take effective action. And that's what this is all about. Because they're going to eat each other up in this process. There's going to be a lot of disruption, a lot of technology coming here that's going to wipe out jobs. And with all that destruction, with all that chaos, is going to be a new opportunity. I want to partake in that opportunity. I want to partake in that transfer of wealth. Will we defeat the elite? God willing, yes, we will. God willing. But I'm going to make sure that my family has a standing chance here no matter what happens, right? This is what we're going to see as they eat each other up. This is from Gold Telegraph. Elliott Associates has sued the London Metal Exchange for $456 million following the suspension and cancellation of nickel trades on the platform in March. So remember, back when nickel shot up like 100% in a day, London Metals Exchange shut down the market, canceled over $4 billion worth of trades, and what was it? Thousands and thousands of trades over $4 billion worth. Well, now we have Elliott Associates suing the London Metals Exchange for $456 million following the suspension and cancellation of nickel trades on the platform. So we're going to start to see them eat each other up. Okay, this is part of the controlled demolition, in my opinion, is them all. They're all power-hungry elites and people that have ran this world. So as they get exposed, as this whole thing unravels, they're going to eat each other up. Something that I talked about with my Discord this weekend in our weekly call was Elon Musk just fully activated, fully exposing everything. Why haven't we seen the list? And you guys know what list I'm talking about, right? Elon applying pressure. Why haven't we seen the list? That's interesting. Why did Vanity Fair invite Ghislaine to the event where they're sharing some picture of Ghislaine photobombing Elon Musk? He says, why did they even invite her? And he says, why haven't we seen the list? So part of this is I think that we have two factions. We have a faction of elite that includes Elon and Donald Trump that did not do crimes against humanity, but they are elitists. Some would call them white hats. Some people think they're good. I'll let God judge them. I'll let them expose it. I expose all the crimes against humanity. And let's expose it all and see where it all falls. And let's let all truth be revealed. But Elon is part of exposing this whole thing. And in my opinion, and maybe I'll be proven wrong, Elon, Trump, and there's others that are elite, that are moving and doing things, but they didn't partake in the crimes against humanity. And I'm not going to speak on it further than that, but you guys know what I'm talking about. The real evil, sacrificial, ritual crimes against humanity. They didn't participate in that. Do they have skeletons in the closet? Most likely. Pretty much everyone does. I'll let God judge them. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this update. If you're tuning in, we just got our Apple Podcast live as well. So you can listen to us on Apple. You can listen to us on Spotify. I appreciate everyone here on YouTube, TikTok. God bless all of you guys. Thank you so much. Like I said, we got the Discord group is going to be getting all of our new business development program that we're going to be releasing. I'm going to be building that out over the next few months. And I'm going to be releasing it as I go, as I build it out. I'm going to be releasing it to my Discord members because I've been pushing people really hard in my group and here on this channel to get your side hustle going, to get some extra income coming in because the inflation crisis is going to wipe us out. On top of that, if you're business minded, if you're ready to go get it, there's plenty for the taking right now. Okay. So I appreciate all of you guys. We just hit 35,000 subscribers on YouTube, 5 million views. Thank you so much for spreading this message. God bless you all. We will see you guys in the next one. Head on over to zachrector.com if you want any of the XRP merch or if you want to get tapped in our community. Thank you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. God bless. Yo, before I go, Jesus is king with the 5 spot. He got a little Bible quote for us, Proverbs 13:22. A good person leaves an inheritance to his grandchildren, and the wealth of a sinner is stored up for the righteous. That's the transfer of wealth I'm trying to participate in. Thank you for your support. Arcadius, great job, Zach. Thanks for all the content you provide us. Thank you. I appreciate that super chat. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm looking here. Oh, we got Weekend Golfer. 140 of the ZAR. I don't know what currency that is. That's an interesting one. I don't know if I've seen the ZAR. Hey, I appreciate that. Weekend Golfer, thank you so much for the support. Thank you guys. All right. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. God bless.